This is such a huge honor. Nicole has been chosen as the putting your stamp on Metro Milwaukee for the media by the Postal Service, which is a big deal. I mean, there's a lot of women all around the community that vote on this award, and you were chosen, and I just want to give you a big shout out.
I know, and you're so sweet. And when I found out that Katrina, you won this, what, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Like,
wow.
in
ancient history.
Right? No, it's true. And I was like, oh, Katrina won it. Like, it's true, because not only, I mean, obviously in the media business, I really respect what you do, but just as a person, I really, truly love you. So I felt very lucky when I found out that I won the same award you did a couple years ago.
There's a lot of love here. I love it.
I know, it's a little ridiculous. But they were here yesterday, and you know how this works, Katrina. They come in and they interview you, which I hate that.
It's being weird to be interviewed.
I don't care.
It's weird. We do the interviewing. We don't like to be interviewed.
No.
But they ask you a lot of really cool questions.
Yeah, and that's what, and Keith, the backstory to this is that they send you a list of some questions a couple weeks ahead of time. And these are like, you know, I mean, things you think about, but then you have to stop. And so we were all talking about these. And one of them was, what personal or professional accomplishment are you most proud of? What motivates you? Do you have an answer off the top of your head? What motivates you?
Like if they had a camera right in your face, right now, go.
Fear of loss.
See?
Fear of loss. That's good.
That's what my husband said. Fear.
Well, we won 4 championships, but I don't really remember those as much as I remember the 4 we lost.
That's the thing.
So.
I think Chris Evert said that one time too. She hated losing more than she loved winning.
Isn't that interesting?
You know, so I can see that, because you win, you expect to win.
Yeah.
You lose, you just hate that, and
terrible.
not good.
Yeah.
How about you,
got an
Rob?
answer? What motivates you?
What motivates me to do this, like as far as my career, because, you know, a lot of people, there's a lot of other things you could be doing.
Eating.
It's certainly not too much. No, I want to live a creative life, and, you know, I want to have kids in a house and send them to college and that stuff too. And so while I don't think I have the courage to be a true artist and, you know, and do what an artist has to do, I find a way to be creative in doing this. And, you know, when other jobs have been offered to me that are in a cubicle or behind a desk, which there's nothing wrong with, my sister does that, and she could buy and sell me 3 times over. But this is what I want to do. And what motivates me is I like communicating, being creative with people.
Right, and interacting with people.
Right, yeah.
I think that's the thing that I like the most, is just the love of people and getting to meet them and know their backstory and that kind of thing. But then you and I also talked about personal pride, because there's sometimes when you might not want to get up or go to work, but there's just like this personal pride issue that I can't let go.
And you put that into good words, because I talked to, you know, I was seriously for weeks, my husband, what do you think motivates me? My brother, what do you think, you know, they're all different things, but it's true, when it comes down to it, it's not external. There's something, and I hate it sometimes, because you can't turn it off. I don't know whether to blame my mother for work ethic or what it is.
Probably.
Yeah, there's something inside, right? There's got to be something from within.
I'm sure it's been transferred down through generation to generation, but yeah, I think when you wake up in the morning, you have that fleeting moment to figure out how your day is going to be. And so many people really concern themselves about what happened yesterday. You know, I do speaking seminars for companies, and so many people are worried about yesterday. They don't plan for tomorrow, and they don't live for today. So what do you got? So I think you have and like what I try to do as a coach is that if I walk into the workplace and I'm in a bad mood or I'm grumpy, then my players then have the ability to do the same. So there's sometimes I sit in the parking lot and kind of pause my life for a second and say I got to fire up and go in there.
There's a quote that we had over in our dorm, when I wasn't really a dorm room, but when I was in college, we put it up on the wall because we all kind of liked it, and I have no idea who it's from, but it said, "What got you here isn't enough to keep you here, and it won't get you there."
Right.
That is good.
Yeah.
That is
because you got to keep pushing.
Someone's like, can they re-interview me? I'd like them to come back, please.
No, I was just thinking about the crap on my college room walls. It was like making a bed or something. Oh, yeah, what's that?
That wasn't beside the pyramid of beer cases.
Okay.
So, you know,
That is true.
Or something?
Yeah, no kidding. That's true, though. That's something that, coach or not, everyone could take a little away from someone.
Are there different,
you know, from that advice?
Yeah, I was going to say, are there different type of players that you can see? Like, what makes your supreme player?
Yeah.
Like raising a boy, raising a girl, raising anybody. Like, what do you think a parent needs to do to instill, like, the best in them?
Well, if I talk about the team first, I think Michael King, he was a guy that into his 40s just played at a very top level because he was persistent, that he wanted to get better in some aspect of his job. He was a hard worker. He was a team player. He kept himself fit. I mean, he did all those intangibles that a player needs to do to continue his career. And I think you see it in children, too. I think children that they need to have goals, and they need to be able to know what direction they're going to, and failure is okay, and you got to learn from it. But I think, as Nicole said, I think it's innate. Some people are just born being a self-motivated individual.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're kind of pre-programmed that way.
Yep.
Although there is a tipping point. I mean, you have to have balance in your life. I mean, you're a great example of that. I mean, this show comes out of you wanting to make sure that you didn't miss your kid's childhood.
Right.
So you do have to make sure you've got everything balanced in life.
Rob yells at me all the time. That's what
Well, because you're a workaholic. I mean,
Nicole works very
I know,
hard.
yeah.
She'll stay sometimes too long. But once Nicole has other things to take care of, she might
Yay!
say,
Everyone trying to get me pregnant.
I did not say it. I didn't
Okay,
say
here's
it.
another one. Do we have time for that?
Everybody's trying to get you pregnant.
Not
Okay.
everybody.
Keith,
No,
we didn't
okay,
invite you.
sorry.
when the
I
show
didn't
was
invite
over,
you on
you
the show for that.
Okay, I was like, okay.
You missed that part? Here's another one. This is kind of okay. Let's move on.
All right, wow.
Okay, what accomplishment
getting
or
hot in here.
attribute would you most want to be remembered for? Like, you die tomorrow, what do you want us to go? Remember, Rob, he was...
Yeah. That'll be the one I am remembered for. I'd like to be remembered for, you know, making people laugh in the morning while still kind of giving them some information.
That's good.
You know?
I had a news director that I was interviewing once say, "What do you want on your epitaph?" And I was like, okay. I said, what do you want on yours? And he was saying, you know, like trusted, this, that. And I said, well, I know my dad always wanted, I told you I was sick. And then I'm like, why did you ask me that? He goes, a lot of people don't know what an epitaph is, which
Oh,
you know,
that's funny.
on your
That is funny.
tombstone.
Coach,
Yeah, so.
how about you? What you'd want to be remembered for?
For helping other people.
Yeah,
I just love giving things to people and helping other people. I think that's where I get a lot of joy from, and that's how that's why I like coaching. I like to take players and try to make them as best players they possibly can be, and sometimes it's hard because they fight back and stuff like that, but that's what I like to do.
What do you do when they fight back?
Trying to find a different way. I mean, there's, you know, years ago used to be a different way to coach, and nowadays you got to find better words or not to say something and stuff like that. But
So you're not a screamer then?
I still have it in me. Oh, I still,
I think you
I
have
still
to
use
coach differently for different people because there's some
No
managers
question.
that are like, this is the way I am, and everyone has to adhere to my way.
No, because you got to remember, I have players that say, Loveless Aka was from Ghana, and he definitely grew up so much different than, let's say, Marcio from Rio de Janeiro, and he grew up so much differently than Joe Hamas from Cedarburg. So it's
Yeah,
how
that's
you are
true.
brought up definitely dictates in how you act in different situations. So you got to kind of figure that out.
Yeah, like if you had a dad that was a screamer, and you'll just tune out, right? But
Exactly.
Whereas another guy might need that to
Yep.
get them fired up.
Interesting.
No question.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Food for thought. So thank you to the Postal Service. I'm very honored, very neat, but it was fun to talk about all
Yeah.
this with
Yeah.
you guys, too.
Very
Makes you
good.
think.
Do you get free mailing for a year?
She does get
Is that
into
what comes
that.
with the award?
Yeah.
You're on the
We'll be taking
stamp
it with
now?
Tony next.